Hello, this is the second video in a series that we're going to use for our class on Friday, September 1st. This installment is concerned with the names for various body regions. The human body is divided up into two main regions, especially when referring to parts of the skeletal system and the muscular system. These two areas are called the axial and appendicular regions. The axial region includes all of the body parts along the main axis of the body, which includes the head, the neck, which is known as the cervical region, and the trunk. The other major region is called the appendicular region, and that includes all of the body parts located along our limbs or appendages, which are our arms and legs. Along the trunk of our body, the area between the bottom of the rib cage and the pelvis is called the abdomen. And in order to describe the location of structures in the abdomen, it's either divided up into 4 regions or 9 regions. The 4 regions are called quadrants, and they're just named according to their relative position. So on the upper right-hand side of your body is the right upper quadrant. Just to the left of that is the left upper quadrant. And then there's a right lower quadrant and a left lower quadrant. There are a lot of important structures located in these areas. For example, your appendix is located in the right lower quadrant. The right lobe of your liver is located in the right upper quadrant. Your spleen is located in the left upper quadrant. The abdomen can also be divided up into 9 different subregions that are sometimes used to describe different parts of the abdomen or to describe the location of structures in the abdomen. The middle row of regions along the abdomen, the upper one or superiormost one is called the epigastric region. Epi means upon or on top of, and gastric refers to the stomach. So this is the area just above what most people would refer to as the middle part of their belly or their stomach. Just inferior to the epigastric region is the umbilical region. That's the area that surrounds the umbilicus or our navel, which is commonly called the belly button. And then inferior to the umbilical region is the hypogastric region. Hypo means below, gastric refers stomach. So this is the area that is below your area of your stomach. Then lateral to these 3 medial regions, you have on the right, both right and left, you have a hypochondriac region. Hypo again means below. Chondria refers to the costal cartilages, which are the cartilages that connect your ribs to your sternum. So this would be the area just below your ribs. So the one on the right side would be the right hypochondriac region. The one on the left would be the left hypochondriac region. Just below the hypochondriac regions, you have the lumbar regions. This is the area that is about the same level as your lumbar vertebrae. So on the right side, you'd have the right lumbar region. Left side, you'd have the left lumbar region. Then below the lumbar regions, you have the inguinal regions. The inguinal regions are the area where the inguinal canal is located. That's an opening in the body cavity that the testes descend through in males. And that happens to be a weak point. That's often the location of an inguinal hernia, which happens when a loop of the small intestines gets pushed through that opening in the body wall. In addition, there are also technical terms that are used to describe different regions located along the limbs. Most of these regions also have common names. For example, the upper part of the arm can be called the upper arm. But anatomists refer to this region as the brachial region. So the terms that I want you to know are these technical ones. I assume you already know many of the common names for these regions, like the hand for the hand, but not everyone knows the correct anatomical term. So I want you to know the more technical anatomical term. So starting with the proximal part of the upper limb, the technical term for shoulder is omos, or acromial region. The technical term for the upper arm is the brachial region, and the technical term for the forearm is the antebrachial region. The area of the wrist is called the carpal region, and the technical term for the hand is manus. Also, along the upper limb, the area anterior to the elbow is called the cubital region. Cubital region is often the area that is used for venipuncture when they draw a sample of blood to do testing. Now, along the lower limb, the upper part of the leg, or thigh region, is called the femoral region. That's where your femur is located. The area anterior to your knee joint is the patellar region. That's the area overlying the patella. And by now you should start to see kind of a pattern here. A lot of these regions are named for the underlying bone. So as we start learning the bones later on, you'll kind of get a better handle on some of these regional terms. There's also a lot of smaller subregions that I'm going to skip for now because, again, many of these smaller subregions are named for the underlying bones. And so it seems to me it makes more sense just to wait until we learn the names of the bones, because at that point you'll know where those regions are located. So it seems to me it's kind of premature to learn some of these smaller subregions. So moving down along the lower limb, the next region is the lower leg, or crural region. The word crus, C-R-U-S, means leg. So crural region is the lower leg. The area of the ankle is the tarsal region. And the technical term for the foot is pes, or pedal region. Now, there's also some regional terms that are located along the main axis of the body, along the posterior side. The first one is the cranial region. The cranial region is basically the head. The area on the posterior side of the neck is called the nuchal region. The area overlying the vertebrae, or the vertebral column, is called the vertebral region. The area overlying the gluteal muscles, or buttocks, is called the gluteal region. That's where your gluteus maximus is located. That's one of the largest muscles, that extensor muscles of the lower leg, of the leg. The area between your thighs and from the anus to the genitals is called the perineal region. That's kind of the area surrounding the anus and the genitals. The region that's posterior to the knee joint is called the popliteal fossa, or the popliteal region. A fossa is a shallow depression. And the posterior part of your heel is called the calcaneal region, because that's where a bone called the calcaneus is located. Again, the tarsal region, which was described before, that's the term for the ankle region. So the next part is concerned with various body cavities and memories associated with them, but that will be in the next video that I'll post sometime tomorrow. Thank you for your attention, and have a good break.